Okay, so we are here ready to go to the Fire Guardians. They're the fire boss. Now, before we do that, I want to do a couple of things. I want to prepare for the boss fight by making sure my health potions are stocked. I want to pick up a couple multi-crystals. Multi-crystals will help us a lot with this boss, because unlike the Manditraki, where our spells do no good, this is more like the Goblin Chief. It's a monster who we can actually damage with our spells. So the more damage we can put out faster, the more easy the level will be. You can do it without the multi-crystals and things too, just like we did the Goblin Chief without multi-crystals. But it does take a lot longer. So for these bosses, I will use, there we go. I will use the multi-crystals. I think I'm going to pick up, I have 3 left in Fire in the Hole, and there's 2 I think in the Labyrinth, and a couple in, several should be left in Purple Haze. So for the moment I'm going to leave the ones in Purple Haze and Labyrinth, and I'm going to swing by Fire in the Hole and pick up the ones that were there. That's an effective use. Use the fire level multi-crystals for the fire level bosses. Okay, that hasn't reactivated the teleporter. Do we need the teleporter? Actually, we don't. I'm just going to wait for these to let me cross to the other side. Remember, the multi-crystals were in a room that was really well concealed. You could teleport to it once you used V-Blade to blow out part of the wall. It was way down here in the corner. So this room has Iridium Brine and multi-crystals. Might be harder to get to them than I had anticipated. I don't actually think we'll be able to reach that one because it's surrounded by springs. Yeah. That's okay. We have 2 from here. Maybe we'll go pick up 1 from the Labyrinth. I think we'll do that. Let's pick up 1 from the Labyrinth, and then we can go fight the boss. I'm not going to bother to use an escape ring to get out of here. We can just climb our way out. So I'm going to run back to the Labyrinth really fast, pick up 1 of the multi-crystals there. That will still save us a few in Purple Haze and another 1 in the Labyrinth for when we do when we're preparing for the next boss fight. Let's see, that one does not connect up. I'll go to the one that's a little bit harder to get to. just because it's a little further up in the mission. Not too far, though. It's right up here. If you remember from this mission, you just come up here. Okay. And the other one is straight up through that passageway. So we'll leave that one. That's a good distribution of multi-crystals. So going into this fight, I want to quickly regenerate. So let's just swing through a level that we know has regeneration right at the front, Goblin Chief. This also has an unused save. I'm going to keep it unused for now. It's good to have a few of them on hand. Because I think we should be fine fighting the Fire Guardians without saving before. Okay, now with everything in place, we have a few multi-crystals, we're stocked back up on potions. We are going to go fight the Fire Guardians. So unlike the other boss levels, where you can walk in and fight when you want, this one takes you right into the middle of the action. So you just start right here, you don't have a chance to save or do anything. What you have to do is avoid the fireballs they shoot at you by going back and forth here. You can also protect yourself with the magic shield. I usually just bounce back and forth. It's not too hard actually if you just bounce a lot. There we go. Just use, well, I didn't anticipate that would be at an angle where I couldn't block it. When their eyes glow, they're going to be susceptible to being hit. So those are the times that you want to be hitting them with your spell. If you try to hit them otherwise, you don't get anything done. Yeah, it just dings off them. I think with the ice wall, it takes about 7 hits to get them. It would take a lot more with something like Boomerang. The tree spell is somewhere in the middle. I think tree spell is kind of maybe 10 shots, something like that. Ice wall is a very powerful spell though. It does a lot of damage. Okay, so that one is dead. He's vanishing. Oh, okay, he just missed us completely. Now with the multi-crystals, this was a lot easier. If you do this without multi-crystals, you just have a lot more back and forth and a lot more dodging to do. But it is by no means impossible. And that's why I did not worry about saving beforehand on this level, because they're not too tough as long as you are fast on jumping back and forth. So there we go. They are now cleared. So not a terrible boss. They're really more annoying if you don't have the Ice Wall spell or if you come in here without some multi-crystals. In which case you have to get like 7 shots off on each. So 14 shots total, dodging back and forth like that can be pretty tough. With just a few multi-crystals though, you make 14 shots become something like 4, 5, so it's not too bad. Alright, so if we want to get 100% on secrets, we've got to clear out all of these sides. So this is quite useful if you need magic while you're fighting them. There's some down there. A lot of bones of fallen habnabbits here. And notice in the background how it's just fire in the background. I think this is a really neat level. It's like the deepest Ferazel ever goes into the caverns, is just this depths of this fire world. Okay, some of these blow up. I think I'm going to use V-Blade to open that. Okay, so that one is health. That's good. That one might be explosive. Let's see. Oh, I can't do it that way. Oh well. We should have regeneration nearby. Okay, so that is everything of this level. The door opened, and we can go out here and get our reward. So, doesn't seem like a whole lot. Previously we would get a new spell or more health and mana, but we have as much health and magic as we're going to get. What we get now is the Fire Charm. And the Fire Charm is a very useful spell, or a very useful item to have in your inventory. What it does is kind of your reward for going through this whole fire world. It makes it all worth it. It makes it so that lava spouts and patches of fire no longer damage you. So lava will still damage me. If I step in this lava for the purposes of demonstration, lava does still damage me. But if I go to a different level, let's see, I'm fully regenerated. In fact, let me do that before we use this save. We have 100% in everything. I'm just going to pop back really fast to fire in the hole for demonstration purposes. Because we can easily leave this level. With the Fire Charm in our inventory, we don't have to worry about this fire anymore. In fact, I can just walk through all this fire now. That is a really useful thing, and we're going to need it in some of the Manditraki stuff. When you go to Ends of the Earth, you'll want to have the Fire Charm. Okay, let's just run back and use that save. But I just quickly want to demonstrate the value of that Fire Charm, because you can technically skip the Fire Worlds, or you wouldn't have to go all the way to the Fire Guardians. By the time you get through Fire in the Hole, you probably have enough red Zycrons to finish the game. Okay, fully granted. But you really should at least run through, even if you don't want 100% on everything, you can run through and get this Fire Charm. It's very useful. Okay, so we have finished the Fire Guardians, level 21. %. And that is everything in the fire part. At this point, we have everything we need to move on in the game, and we have more than enough red Zycrons to proceed. So it's time that we go across the desert into the realm of the Manditraki, and we will pick up at Ends of the Earth next.